Got a roll today, so let's go.
Al, thinking in moving Tariq McCoy to linebacker, was it because of the depth at defensive end?
I tell you, he moves well, rushes the passer well. There's a combination of it, but we feel like we're getting the best players in the best position, and we got bigger. We got significantly bigger. This is 6'4", 238-pound Sam now, and Darian's the same way. And the rushes, he was one of them. Now they're in the 50s and 60s, so we got significantly bigger there and better. So I think that's a great move for his future, given his his numbers. And so I'm glad he's doing that for us.
We know Quan's going to make an impact at that position, but what do you see with a guy like Jackson? Is he like a third down guy, or what could his role be this week?
Yeah, I mean, he can. I mean, I expect his role to be better than that. And of course, Trent. Trent's one of those guys now. He's a hard worker. He's tough to outwork. He's tough to out-prepare, and he doesn't hurt. He never hurts himself. He's always in the right position. And as you know, coaches love that. Coaches love consistency and guys that are accountable and responsible and do their job. So that's a good group over there. We just got to keep working, and then hopefully we'll get Patch out here at some point too.
Chris Herndon seems to be making plays
yeah,
right here.
Yeah.
Have you seen a jump from him?
Yeah. No, I mean, he's probably 55, 58, but he runs like a wide receiver. We're very, very fortunate to have Chris. I mean, he runs well, and he gives you, because he is tough, he'll stick his face in there. He can line up in the backfield, we can split him out, or he can line up in line at tight end, so that's good. He's doing a good job.
Yeah, last spring to this spring, how much more do you have put in, or maybe less on offense and defense combined?
Probably a little bit less right now, but only because we moved everything up. I think we'll end up being where we want to be. Matt, by spring break, we'll end up being where we want to be, but probably a little bit less at the beginning. But today it leveled off. We got a bunch in, and our first scrimmage is in 9 days on Thursday. So we'll finish the installation here over the next 2 days. But it's, again, we're deeper this year in spring than we were a year ago, obviously, because we didn't lose that many. So we have a lot of guys out here right now, which is good.
The way Michael Weiss has looked out, how good could he be now that he's slimmer, not injured?
Is he slimmer?
Is he?
Oh,
no. Compared to last year, right? Slim, probably not.
It's all relative. Right, it's all relative. No, I mean, Mike's got to keep embracing work. He's got to keep embracing, getting comfortable, being uncomfortable. And if he can do that, he can accomplish everything he wants to accomplish. And we just got to keep pushing him out of his comfort zone and finding things that he can do well. Certainly better right now than it was in the fall. And we just got to keep pushing him.
Coach Antonio Crawford wasn't out here again today. Is there any update?
No, just an internal matter right now. Again, I think you guys know whenever this stuff happens, I don't comment. We have a lot of kids that have different things going on, and when it's internal and it's personal in nature, I just try to protect the kids until it's resolved one way or the other. When we get resolution, we'll let you guys know.
Is he still participating in other team activities, or
right now he's excused, and like I said, it's internal.
Beyond Antonio, who's your best slot corner at this point, do you think?
Elder and Howard, for sure. Both those guys can do it. And Dion has done it. So those would be the three in his absence.
We saw Corn was upgraded to yellow.
Yeah, he did good today. Yeah, he did good. I was pleased with him, and I don't think there was any setback, so hopefully we can get him out there on Thursday. He's got a little hammy a week ago, so hopefully he'll get it cleaned up.
Rashawn Scott, how has he looked so far after a few practices in spring?
Yeah, I mean, he's best condition of his life. Coming back to the ball really well. Kind of really like he's acting like older players should act right now. He's in we're in there watching film as a staff, and he stops in and with his lunch, and he wants to pick up whatever he can pick up, whatever we're drawing, whatever route we're talking about. If we're watching the Seahawks or the Cowboys or whatever we're watching, he's watching it with us. So he's got to keep doing that. They become great when they do that, and they absolutely immerse themselves into it, and he's doing that right now.
I wanted to get your thoughts on Jermaine Brace, a little bit of what you need from him now, especially.
Maturity. Yep, maturity. All right, so I sat him today because he wasn't taking care of his stuff academically. And if they don't take care of their stuff academically, they're of no use to anybody. So maturity is a big part of that.
A little early to ask you for your full assessment of the kicker, but I guess what do you expect out of Badger?
Well, Badger's got a strong leg. I told you that a year ago, and got to just keep working on his battery, on his rhythm and his execution, and just finite focus. Just picking a spot, and miss small. So I think he's doing all that. and hopefully we'll continue to make the progress. But he's got a strong leg, and he's got that self-assuredness that you have to have as a kicker. He is really confident. We've got to probably take him down a couple of notches.
Just a couple more questions, guys.
Just to clarify, Grace was your decision.
Grace?
Practice, right, not the school's decision.
No, my decision.
Yeah.
Grace McCray, and there's one other one. I can't even remember right now because my mind's going in 1,000 different places. But there's 3 guys that held out because they weren't taking care of business. That's it. Period.
Will that continue until you're satisfied, or will this just be today?
That's up to them. Okay, we got to handle our business off the field. We got to take care of our academics, and that's it. So again, I don't know who's scheduled for what, but I don't want you asking for Jermaine Grace or McCray or anybody else that's not taking care of their business. And now we got to. The bottom line is they weren't doing what they needed to do, so I held them up.
To have Philip and some of the other guys come back, especially after what they just went through in Indy, some of them, what does that mean to these kids to see those guys here and to you all as a staff?
Well, it means a lot. It means a lot. Philip owes us some lunches, I promise you that. I mean, and now he can't tell me he doesn't have the money to do it. So I saw everybody's Twitter line last night. So, no, I think it's great. And, those guys are really supportive. They really are. And, whether it's Lamar or Van Dyke, or, like Sean Spence, I think you guys know when he was here, he was one of the smartest players. So, I mean, if Sean Spence and Jonathan Vilma are talking to our players in the Jonathan Vilma Lounge, trust me, that's good. And Andre Johnson has been around, and Richard Gordon. I mean, so many of them, really, to be honest with you, OV. So, it's great. It really is. It's unique, and it kind of sets a standard for those guys, and they see the work ethic. I mean, Santana was in here this morning working out, and then he left to go get an MBA. I mean, that's pretty good. It's a pretty good deal. So we're very fortunate. The process that those guys are kind of handing down to our guys, and we got to just stay with it.
Last question, guys. Okay.